Good morning, everyone. My name is Kian, and I am here to present a advocacy video about climate change. Okay. Consequence of a personal and local actions to global warming and climate change. The sea levels are rising, and the oceans are becoming warmer. Longer and more intense droughts threaten the crops, wildfire, and freshwater supplies, from the polar bears in the Arctic to the marine turtles of the coast of Africa. Our planet diversity of life is at risk from changing climate. Climate change poses a fundamental threat to our place, species, and people and livelihoods. To address this crisis, we must urgently reduce carbon pollution and prepare for the consequence of global warming, which we are already expecting. Contribution of production and consumption habits of people to global warming and climate change. Farmers worldwide are experiencing this firsthand. Climate change causes the rising temperature, heavy rainfall, severe storms, and extended periods of drought. Many crops fail due to extreme weather conditions. This has consequences not only for the farmer themselves, but also the food that they produce. Food sector is responsible more than the third of the greenhouse gas worldwide. This concerns all the links in the process, the way we produce, process, and package and transport our foods, and including consumption. What are the intention and national efforts on climate change, especially existing laws implemented? In this 2019 report A-74 and 161, the special reporter illustrates the devastating effects of the current global emergency on the enjoyment of human rights and curricular role for human rights, the action to address climate change. Special Reporter on Human Rights in the Environment, Mr. David R. Boyd, proves that additional clarity regarding to the substantive obligation relating to the range of elements upon essential to the enjoyment of safe, clean, healthy, and sustainable environment, building upon his predecessor report on climate change and human rights. Mr. Boyd has prepared a thematic report which he discussed the argument needed for action to ensure a safe climate for humanity. He suggests that all states should prepare a right based on the decarbonization plans intended to achieve zero carbon emissions by 2050. According to with the Article 4, Paragraph 19 on the Paris Agreement, he makes a particular recommendation across four main categories of actions: addressing society addiction to fossil fuels, accelerating other mitigation actions, enhancing adaptation to protect vulnerable people, ramping up climate change finance. Resolution that can be implemented to address issue on global warming and climate change. Make a climate change pledge. Simple steps such as carpooling to work or using mass transit can help reduce your carbon footprint. To reduce your emission further, better prepare for a climate change pledge to do one or more of the following. Learn more about your carbon emissions. There is much more you can do to reduce your household carbon emissions. Find out more about your emission and where you can best reduce them by using an online carbon calculator. C. One of the maintenance is by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Commute by carpooling or using mass transit is more than a quarter vehicle miles traveled by a household. Our commute to work and from work is usually with one person in the vehicle. Carpooling and mass transit are among the options that offer big reduction in carbon emissions. Or you can use my suggested option is using a bike to commute from work. It's free and you can get an exercise before you go to work, and the most important of all, you can reduce your carbon footprint. Switch to green power. Switch to electricity generated by energy sources with low or no road emission of carbon dioxide. Contact your electricity provider to find out about the green power option available to you. I think that's all we're gonna talk about in this advocacy video. And once again, let's try to reduce our carbon footprint for Mother Nature.